Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be looking at a book that really got me thinking.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Quantum Faith Chronicles,
Oh.
Where AI Meets Religion,
Okay.
and it's by Vanessa Taylor.
Oh, right. Vanessa Taylor.
You might recognize her from her podcast, Protesh, which
Yeah.
has listeners, all over the world. And this book
Mm-hmm.
kind of takes that global perspective
Okay.
and asks us, like, what happens when artificial intelligence starts to influence our spiritual lives?
It's a really fascinating question, and Vanessa dives into both the positive and some of the potentially problematic sides of that intersection. We're not just talking about AI like replacing religion,
Right.
but rather how these two forces might kind of reshape each other in the coming years.
Yeah, it's like this dance between like the ancient and the hypermodern.
Totally.
And in chapter 7, Miracles in Machine Learning, Vanessa throws us right into the deep end with some stories that really make you question what's possible.
Oh, absolutely. And that one that really stuck with me was the story of the healing algorithm. Like, imagine you're a doctor and you have this AI that can help you diagnose a patient with just incredible accuracy. On the one hand, it feels like a miracle, this ability to potentially save lives with technology.
Right.
But then Vanessa brings in the human element. The patient's family is deeply religious, and they're praying for a miracle, too.
That's where it gets really interesting for me because is a cure any less miraculous if it's discovered through an algorithm? Does it change how we view faith and healing? Vanessa doesn't give us easy answers, but it forces us to examine our own assumptions about what a miracle even is.
Yeah, what's so fascinating there is that Vanessa doesn't present AI as like a replacement for faith, but rather as a new lens through which we might experience it. And that tension between tradition and technology continues with the next story about Babelfish 2.0.
Okay, so Babelfish 2.0, this is a neural network that acts as a universal translator.
Mm-hmm.
Vanessa talks about how missionaries see it as this incredible tool for spreading religious messages across the globe.
Yep.
You can almost imagine them thinking, finally a way to break down these language barriers.
But Vanessa's careful to present the other side of the coin, too. Skeptics in the book question whether an AI can truly grasp the nuances of religious texts. The emotional weight of a prayer. Is something lost in translation, even if it's technically accurate?
That reminds me of the first time I used a language translation app. I was trying to order food in Italy,
Mm-hmm.
and the app translated spaghetti bolognese to something that sounded more like hairy worm sauce.
Oh, no.
According to the waiter, obviously not the same.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about something as complex as faith, can an algorithm really capture the heart of it? Or is there a risk of ending up with something that's technically correct but misses the soul of the message?
It's a brilliant point, and one that Vanessa explores further when she introduces the quantum oracle, an AI capable of predicting all sorts of events almost like a modern-day prophet.
Okay, so this is where it gets a little mind-blowing. We're talking about an AI that draws comparisons to biblical prophecy. Does that mean it's a conduit for divine messages? Or is it just insanely advanced technology?
Vanessa doesn't shy away from that debate. She uses this incredible imagery, contrasting Elijah ascending to heaven in a chariot of fire with the Greek myth of Icarus flying too close to the sun. It makes you wonder, are we pushing the boundaries of technology too far? Are there consequences to reaching for this kind of knowledge?
It feels like there's a lot of responsibility that comes with this level of power, right?
Absolutely. And Vanessa doesn't offer easy solutions. She leaves us grappling with the ethical and theological questions, which is what makes Quantum Faith Chronicles such a powerful read. It's like we're standing on the edge of something brand new, something we don't fully understand yet. And one of the most thought-provoking concepts Vanessa introduces is this binary benediction.
Okay, break that down for me. Binary benediction sounds pretty high-tech for a blessing.
Well, think about it this way. We often associate faith with like physical spaces like churches or temples. But Vanessa's suggesting that faith can transcend those limitations of hardware. It's not confined to those traditional settings anymore.
So even in this digital age, spirituality can find new ways to express itself.
Exactly. Our world is full of prayer apps, online religious communities, even AI-powered meditation guides. Vanessa's point is that spirituality is finding new forms of expression in the digital world. This binary benediction is almost like a recognition of that shift, a merging of the language of faith with the language of code.
I'm starting to see this connection here. It's not about AI replacing religion, but rather about how technology might be shaping the future of faith in these unexpected ways.
Precisely, and that brings us back to the central question Vanessa poses in this chapter. Can AI perform miracles? Can it truly intersect with religious wonders?
That's a question that has been debated for centuries, hasn't it? Like, what constitutes a miracle?
Right, and with AI advancing so rapidly, we might need to expand our understanding of what's possible. Take the example of the healing algorithm again. If an AI helps a doctor save a life, is that not a form of miracle, even if it's rooted in data and algorithms?
It's like that age-old question. Is it science or is it divine intervention? Maybe the lines are getting blurrier.
Perhaps they are, and Vanessa seems to suggest that the answer might lie somewhere in between, in that space where the physical and the digital meet. She calls it the divine resolution, a merging of those two realms.
Divine resolution. I like that. It captures this idea that maybe miracles can manifest in ways we haven't even considered before.
It's almost like we're being challenged to rethink our definitions. What if a miracle isn't about breaking the laws of nature, but rather about using our knowledge and technology to achieve something extraordinary, something that benefits humanity?
So instead of parting the Red Sea, maybe a miracle in the digital age looks like curing a disease or connecting people across vast distances, or even finding new ways to understand our universe.
It's a fascinating shift in perspective, and one that Vanessa encourages us to embrace. She's not saying that traditional forms of faith are obsolete, but rather that we need to be open to new ways of experiencing and expressing our spirituality.
It feels like there's a real sense of optimism in Vanessa's work, a belief that technology and faith can coexist and even complement each other.
Absolutely. She presents this vision of a future where the binary amen, the convergence of technology and spirituality, becomes a reality.
It's a beautiful concept and one that leaves me feeling hopeful about what the future holds.
And perhaps a little bit challenged too. After all, if faith can find expression in algorithms and data, then what does that mean for our own spiritual journeys?
It makes me think about how much technology has already influenced my own spiritual life.
Yeah.
I listen to religious podcasts, I connect with other people of faith online. Like these tools have become such an integral part of my journey.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Vanessa's getting at. It's not about choosing between technology and tradition. It's about recognizing that the two are already intertwined in so many ways.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Quantum Faith Chronicles, what would you say is the biggest takeaway for our listeners? What should they be thinking about as they go about their day?
I think the most important thing Vanessa does is she encourages us to be open to new possibilities. AI is evolving so rapidly, and it's going to continue to impact every aspect of our lives, including our spirituality.
It's like we're at this crossroads, and we have to decide how we want to navigate this intersection of faith and technology.
Right. And the choices we make today will shape the future of both. Vanessa's book doesn't offer all the answers, but it gives us this framework for having these crucial conversations, for asking the right questions.
I think that's what makes Quantum Faith Chronicles such a valuable read. It's not just about understanding AI or religion in isolation. It's about understanding how they're influencing each other and how that will shape our world in the years to come.
It's about recognizing the potential for both incredible good and potential challenges. It's about approaching this new landscape with both curiosity and a healthy dose of critical thinking.
And most importantly, it's about being open to the possibility that miracles might manifest in ways we haven't even imagined yet.
So if you're intrigued by the ideas we've discussed today, I highly encourage you to check out Quantum Faith Chronicles, Where AI Meets Religion by Vanessa Taylor. It's a thought-provoking and insightful read that will leave you pondering the future of faith in the digital age.
And who knows, it might even inspire you to discover your own binary men. That unique intersection of technology and spirituality that speaks to your soul. Until next time, keep diving deep.